Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton, a really nice finger style. It's going to sound something like this. I'm going to begin with the introduction. And we're going to break down how to do that. Now, first of all, before we look at the chords at the top with the numbered fingers, we're going to look at how to make your picking hand work. So I'm going to zoom in a bit closer there. I'm going to come a bit closer. We're going to have a look at how we're going to dedicate our finger use here. Your thumb is going to play the top 3 strings as necessary. So if you need to pluck that string, thumb. If you need to play the 5th string, thumb. If you need to play the 4th string, thumb. But these 3 fingers, fingers 1, middle finger 2, and ring finger 3, are going to play those 3 strings. So pointy finger, string 3, middle finger, string 2, ring finger, string 1. And if you want to, you may rest your pinky on the body of the guitar for support if it's comfortable for you, or you can hang in the air. I'm not too fussed about that. Now we're going to focus on this hand over here now, who's going to move back to the top end of the guitar, so we can see the chords, there you can see the nut, and we're going to see what happens over here. Now before I start playing, I'm going to assume that your PDF file is in front of you, so you can see the tabs. And we're looking at the intro, which has a 0 to 0, which should sound like this. Now that starts with the hammer on, so you pluck the open string, you can see it vibrating there, hammer on the 2, and then the open 5th underneath. And then we cross over with the same first finger flat across the bottom 3 strings. Even though you're not plucking the first string, you want to minimize your finger use for efficiency. So the less finger you use, the more efficiently, the quicker and neater and more accurately you can play. We're going to pluck the 3rd string, 2nd string, which will give you a 2 2s, and then we're going to, with the middle finger, do a quick hammer on and pull off. So it's going to go pick, pick, hammer on to 3, pull off to the 2, and back to the 3rd string. Now I'm going to do it one more time with the introduction, slow motion. Listen for the timing there. And now I'm going to just focus out a bit so you can see both the picking and the fretting hands work together. This way you can appreciate where there's a hammer on, where there's a pull, because you can see when I'm plucking and when the note sounds as a result. For example, you can hear the 2nd note is a result of the 1st finger there. Okay, let's watch this and watch how little my palm moves. I'm going to keep this hand really stationary so the fingers are moving, not really the hand. Be careful for this, because if your palm is down, your hand becomes a claw. We don't want that. You want it slightly out like this, as a gentle curve, and it's almost like you're sitting on an armchair. Pretend it's an armchair with very high arms. And your fingers are gently curved, and here we go. Slow motion. And at speed. And then after that, your next vertical row has got a double 4 5, which should sound like this. Now, going to focus one more time now onto your fretting hands, and let's turn the camera around so we can see the movements as we go through. The thumb is actually going over the top of the guitar, and finger 1 and 2 are in frets 4 and fret 5 on string 3 and string 2 respectively. And I play strings 6, 3 and 2 at the same time. And then I jump back to fret number 2 and do that. Now before we go much further, I want you to notice that I can play this first part, in fact the entire introduction, with only using those 2 fingers, fingers 1 and 2. I'm not going to use 3 and 4, they're going to not be necessary. And check this out. The beginning of the verse there. Notice only fingers 1 and 2. So try to avoid using fingers 3 and 4. It's not necessary yet. We will use those fingers later. Okay, so we've done that. Double 4, 2, sorry, double 4 5, and then we go down to the triple 2, which is just at the end of the first bar, and you'll notice the thumb still at the top. Now once you've played strings 6, 3 and 2 together, you then play the bass note, strings 3 and 2, and back to the bass note. Now if we add that on, we're going to have the slow motion, and again I want to get picking and fretting together. So watch the movement over here, especially watch when I pluck all the strings together, and watch when I do that. You can see the movement there. Very little hand, so I don't want that. None of this. I don't want. That's bad. That's good. Okay, rewind. Let's do both hands together from the beginning up until those triple 2s. Here goes. 3 and 4. And after that, you lose the thumb. Same picking pattern. Okay, put the thumb back, and now the middle finger too. And you'll notice there's a sort of pattern developing now, sort of a rhythmic consistency, a rhythm pattern. And if I take it from the triple 2 at the end of the first bar, the pattern is I play 3 strings, bass string, 2 strings, bass string. So it's 3 bass, 2 bass. I lose the thumb, 3 bass, 2 bass. Put the thumb back and the middle finger, 3 bass, 2 bass. And that 3 bass, 2 bass is that rhythm repetition that I'm referring to. So if you play the whole beginning now up until the last part, you're going to have this. Are you ready? Count with me and play along. 3 and 4. So far so good. Now the rhythm is going to change a little bit. You start by first of all losing the thumb. There goes the thumb. And now play 3 bass note, and then I stretch that first finger down. You can see he's moving down there. He was here and he's moving down, and that gives me that 1 3 0 just before the end of the third bar. And then I bounce back with the first finger into the second fret, but my thumb now, which is twitching on the right hand side of your screen, has changed from the 6th string to the 5th string, and you're going to have. So I'm going to play it through one more time now from the beginning the whole way through, so you can watch left and right hand. 3 and 4. And I just added that little 0 2 0 because it sort of leads into the next bar. And I'm going to do it one more time, but this time focusing only on the fretting hand, so you can see the movement. Try and get a bit of a more of a better view there. And let's go. 3 and 4. Are you okay with that? Now before we go further, this is where I want some homework from you. Please send me a video of you playing it. You don't have to stop and pause and show me different angles, but I'd like to see the video something along this sort of angle where I can see you playing, and I can see this hand working, and I can see this hand working, just for technique, so I can hear you playing. And then once you've got that, then I'll do video number 2, which is going to be the verse. And then we're going to the chorus, which has got some cool bar chords coming up. But that's for the next videos. Waiting for your homework. Have an awesome day. Take care. Any questions, you guys do have my WhatsApp number. And if anybody is watching this video that isn't one of my students, you're more than welcome to drop me a WhatsApp. My number is 083 230 2621. Otherwise, have an awesome day and looking forward to hearing from you. Take care.